There's a strange energy swirling around Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo right now, and it all started with a phrase that wasn't supposed to mean anything. A simple joke. A chaotic mashup of words that somehow caught fire online. A non-demi-curious semi-binary relationship. It sounds like something made up at 3 a.m. between over-caffeinated friends, not a real identity label. But once it landed on the timeline, people acted like they had just uncovered a hidden code meant to reveal what Ariana and Cynthia are really to each other. Nobody could define it, nobody knew where it came from, but everyone suddenly believed it held the answer to a mystery that had been building for months. And honestly, once you put all the clips, tattoos, quotes, and red carpet moments together, you start to understand why the internet refused to let this phrase fade away. Because behind all the memes is something that doesn't feel like your average co-star friendship. The bond between Ariana and Cynthia began on the set of Wicked, For Good, where Ariana stepped into Glinda's sparkle and Cynthia took on Elphaba's power. Filming a movie of that scale is exhausting enough, but what nobody expected was how deeply the two women would connect during the process. Cast members described their chemistry as electric. The director talked about their trust. And then there was the ink, matching tattoos, not once, but multiple times. Poppies for Wicked. For Good, etched onto their hands in opposite placements, so that when they hold hands, the words line up and complete each other. People don't usually get tattoos like that unless the relationship means something significant. Maybe not romantic, but definitely not casual. Then came the quotes. Cynthia calling Ariana a gift she would choose again and again if she could restart the entire journey. Ariana admitting she felt genuinely safe with Cynthia every single day. Those aren't throwaway lines. They read like confessions of a bond that's bigger than anything the studio intended. Once fans saw those details, every interview started looking different. Cynthia adjusting Ariana's necklace for no reason, fixing her clothes when nothing needed fixing. Standing so close, it felt less like co-stars and more like magnets. In one viral moment, a producer lightly tapped Ariana's arm during a conversation. Completely normal. But the internet noticed what came next. Cynthia sliding in almost instantly and kissing the exact same spot on Ariana's arm, so quickly and naturally it looked like instinct. Comment sections erupted. Some thought it was sweet. Others thought it was territorial. Everyone agreed it wasn't boring. And once that moment went viral, people began combing through older footage. Cynthia watching Ariana speak with an expression that could light up a room. Ariana smiling back, but looking slightly unsure at times, like she wasn't always sure how to handle the intensity. Fans started describing the dynamic as crush energy, especially in clips where Cynthia couldn't seem to look away from Ariana for more than a second. Suddenly, every tiny gesture felt like a clue, and viewers were determined to decode all of it. But the moment that truly shook the internet didn't happen in an interview or a press junket. It happened on a red carpet, the one place where celebrities are supposed to feel safe behind layers of security. At the Singapore premiere of Wicked for Good, Ariana was posing for photos when a man suddenly rushed her at full speed. Zero hesitation, zero warning. Ariana flinched in pure fear, and considering what she survived in Manchester years ago, that reaction wasn't surprising. The trauma of that night will always live somewhere in her. Before security even processed what was happening, Cynthia was already moving. She stepped between Ariana and the man, pushed him back, and shielded her with her entire body. It wasn't staged, it wasn't dramatic. It was immediate, protective, almost primal. Other cast members rushed in to comfort Ariana, while security finally caught up and pulled the man away. The aftermath was messy. Police arrested the man on the spot. He was jailed for 9 days, deported shortly after, and banned from Singapore permanently. When Cynthia was asked about it, she simply said she wanted to make sure her friend was okay, that you never really know what someone's intentions are in a moment like that, especially when it involves Ariana, who has already lived through one public nightmare no one would wish on their worst enemy. Millions praised Cynthia for how fast she reacted, but because the internet can never just chill, the moment became another battle zone. Some people accused her of being too intense, which sparked backlash from others who pointed out how quickly society criticizes expressive black women for showing emotion or strength in public. SAA herself stepped in to defend Cynthia, calling the negativity classic misogynoir, and reminding people that nurturing protective behavior shouldn't be twisted into something sinister just because it's coming from a black, bald, openly queer woman. While everyone was arguing about Cynthia's protectiveness, something else started feeling strange. The energy between Ariana and her actual boyfriend, Ethan Slater. They've been together since 2023 and have dealt with more public scrutiny than most couples could survive. You would think that by now, answering a simple question about their relationship would be easy. But when Ethan went on the Today Show and was asked what it's like working with his girlfriend every day, he dodged the question with Olympic-level agility. Instead of answering normally, he quickly changed the subject, calling the entire cast incredible, Ariana brilliant, and Cynthia remarkable. He had nothing specific to say about Ariana, nothing affectionate, nothing personal, just a careful pivot that felt rehearsed. Pair that with red carpet clips where Ariana and Ethan stand stiffly beside each other, barely making eye contact, barely smiling, like two colleagues posing for a corporate brochure. Fans called it co-worker energy, media-trained distance, and please don't ask us anything vibes. Meanwhile, reports kept saying the couple is still together and supportive, but the internet wasn't buying it. Not when their body language looked colder and colder each week. And while that distance grew, Ariana and Cynthia kept showing up with moments that felt warmer, deeper, and harder to ignore. Fans brought back the matching tattoos again, pointing out how Ariana did something similar with Pete Davidson. Matching ink everywhere, emotional intensity, and then frantic cover-ups when it ended. To them, it looked like a pattern repeating in a new form, but this time, the bond seemed quieter, more intimate, less chaotic, but somehow more powerful. Then came the mirrored choices. Cynthia suddenly lost her voice before the New York premiere. Ariana pulled back from interviews too, recovering from COVID and needing rest. On their own, totally normal. But to fans convinced they're operating on the same emotional wavelength, it looked like synchronicity, like two people who move through the world in parallel. Now the internet is split into three major camps. Some believe this is a slow burn, not quite public love story unfolding behind the scenes. Something complicated, tender, and impossible to label cleanly. Others argue it's intense friendship being misread through a lens that sexualizes queer affection and punishes expressive women for simply caring deeply. And then there's the group in the middle, convinced something emotional is happening, but unsure whether it's romance, trauma bonding, friendship, or something that doesn't fit any traditional category. No matter which side you fall on, one thing is undeniable. The tension around Ariana, Cynthia, and Ethan isn't just gossip anymore. It's become an evolving storyline the internet can't stop refreshing. Clips get analyzed frame by frame. Every quote becomes evidence. Every distance, every look, every little touch fuels new theories. And the truth? Nobody outside their circle knows what any of this means. Maybe the label is just a meme that got out of hand. Maybe the tattoos are pure friendship. Maybe the protectiveness is exactly what it looks like. One friend refusing to let another relive a nightmare. Or maybe the internet is accidentally watching a relationship unfold in real time, quietly, carefully, and without any need for a press release. What's clear is this story isn't finished. The premieres aren't over. New clips will surface. New interviews will drop. And every tiny moment between Ariana, Cynthia, and Ethan will keep the timelines buzzing. The next update could flip this entire narrative on its head, and when it does, You already know the internet will have a meltdown all over again. So stay close, because whatever happens next, and let's be honest, something will, this ride is only getting wilder from here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next twist. And when you're done here, tap the next video on your screen. There's even more celebrity chaos waiting for you.